How's it going, guys? We are a week away from the next Force Wipe and update. So, yeah, we just barely missed it. Usually the updates are on Thursday, but today is the 30th, so technically it's not the next month. So the next wipe should be on the 7th, if my brain is functioning properly. And we've got a loaded update. Now, I don't know if all of these things are going to be making it in, so take that with a grain of salt. Some things I'm pretty sure aren't going to is going to be HDRP, guys. That's going to be a while, but they did give us a new screenshot of the tundra biome, and I have to say it is quite beautiful. This one was pulled off the Twitter. And yeah, that's going to be a while. And think about this, the HDRP and all that is going to have to be done before the console versions. People ask this in everything Rust related. The console version, Gary has already said, would probably be end of the year. They have a lot of stuff they still need to get working before they want to put it out in the console. So we all know performance has always been up and down, and that's the whole reason this HDRP thing's going. But enough of me rambling about that. Cars is going to be the other thing. As you can see, they're getting some finishing work. We've got this commit right here. They're working on the Gibbs, how they're destroyed, how they take damage. I'm seeing them work on a lot of like rebalancing and stuff, and putting like the initial values to the vehicles and so forth, and some of their different modules, like, you know, how much the water one can hold and all that kind of stuff. So it looks like cars are coming to a closer chance of coming in, but I severely doubt we'll see them next week. But hey, I could be wrong. I'd like to say maybe around June seems like a good one, but hey, it could be earlier. It does look like they're getting a lot of stuff done. So with that aside, we've got a couple other things I wanted to cover. Animals are getting redone, finally. So that's going to be super cool. So far, we have a commit on the boar, the stag, and the wolf. Nothing on the bear or chicken so far. But hey, it's good to see that the animals are getting touched up, because some of the models were really, really, really old. And honestly, the wolf has always bothered me because it looked more like an irradiated dog than a wolf. So it'll definitely be cool to see what the amazing artists on the team have come up with the new ones there. And then we've got one last thing before I get to some balance changes, and then we dive into all of what this stuff behind me is. And it would be a mixing table is coming in. And this is most likely going to be tied to Rust's equivalents of, I would say, potions in a way. Obviously, it's not going to be potions. It's going to be more like things like teas and brews and things like that. I'm hoping we might get alcohol. It seems like something that would fit into Rust really well. It is a mature rated game, so I'm kind of hoping we might have booze. It would have its buffs but debuffs. So far, the only commit I've seen so far has been this one with tea. So it looks like you make tea out of the various berries and stuff. And that is going to be kind of all we know about it so far. It doesn't look like it's going to have any capabilities for like dyeing. So no clothing dyeing, that I can confirm. The team had mentioned that to both myself and Rustified, I believe, saying that's not what it's for. I think it's more along the lines it's going to be, you know, buffs or, you know, advanced recipes kind of thing. So yeah, that'll be very interesting to see how that goes. With all of that said, we do have a couple of changes coming in to balance out the monuments, which I think is something that's been really, really desperately needed. And as you can see, Alistair has been hard at work with that, along with some of the other guys. And the amount of red key card can be used has been greatly reduced. So yeah, less swipes on those red key cards. The large oil rigs, now that this has been moved onto staging, so this will most likely be in this week's update. The actual Chinook crate, locked crate, is behind the red key card now, and you can no longer get any key cards from the oil rigs. And pretty much all the exploitable areas with helicopters and monuments have been fixed. Like, for instance, there is more SAM sites. Like a couple more, not like a ridiculous amount more, but there are more SAM sites over at the excuse me, launch site, as well as those SAM sites can no longer be damaged by melee or anything. It has to be projectiles and explosives. So that's a nice little buff. Water treatment, you can no longer get in with a heli from the back. It's sheet metaled off. Same thing with the side of power plant and the top of train yard, as well as both harbors. You can no longer reach through the windows. You are going to need the key card for that. So yeah, there's been some nice little changes there to make the minicopter a little less OP, as well as Helk has done some fixes to make sure that you can't loot an airdrop until it has landed. So no more looting them mid-air with a minicopter. You're going to have to land and fight everyone else fair and square. So yeah, those are some really nice balance changes that have come. So let's go ahead and delve into a few of the things here that we have. Again, all of this stuff is subject to change. None of it is final because it's not merged into the game yet. So let's go and cover a couple basic things here. The water purifier now has hookups for a water in and a water out, so you can get that going with your system. But one of the most frustrating things was people were like, well, we kind of need a water pump. And baba, ta-da, we've got a water pump. It requires 1 power, and we'll be setting that one up shortly to show you. But in addition to that, we also have now gotten a powered water purifier and a fluid combiner. So if you, the splitter splits them apart. If you want to take, 3 sources and put them into 1 barrel, you can now do that. So this will be the in and, another in and another in, and then boom, where it goes to. So basically we could do that, and it probably won't like me for this. Come on. It's like, why? I can't do angles like this. Alright guys, so I went ahead and just made a nice little clean setup just right over here in the water. This should be fixing up what we needed. So, alright, we've got the pump and everything here. So before we put it down, let's go ahead and take a look at the cost of everything. So over here, you're going to need 20 to research the combiner. You're going to need 500 to learn the powered purifier, and you're going to need 75 to learn the water pump. And while we're here too, we're going to pop in these NightVision goggles, and you'll see they're 125 to research. And we'll be showing off those a little bit later, but what we want to do is look at the crafting cost of these. So we're going to go to electrical, and you're going to see the fluid combiner is going to be 5 high qual. Then we have the new electric heater, which is going to cost you 200 metal frags. We've got the powered water purifier, which is 5 high qual, 15 frags, 20 cloth. The pump, which is going to be 500 wood, 200 metal fragments. So yeah, there's the prices there on the new items. And then I guess we didn't actually show the heater in here, so let's go ahead and pop one in there, and you'll see it's 500 to research the heater. So we'll be getting back to all those. Let's go ahead and get the pump down. So we've got our pump right here, and you'll notice there's a certain depth that it needs. So here the wire's not deep enough. Here it is. Here it is. No. Yes. No. Well, that might just be too close. So we're gonna go ahead and pop it down. Then we're gonna run some electricity to it. So let's go ahead and boop and boop. So this thing should be spinning up now. There we go. It's going. Don't know if it's actually filling. Doesn't appear to be. Oh, there it goes. Salt water. Look at that. Boom. Alright, there we go. So we got some salt water in there. It's doing its thing. So now we're going to hook up the salt water to, boom, our powered purifier. So now, as you can see, it's starting to make pure water. Boom. And then, if we flip that switch, we should see it start to pop into here. And there you go, guys. So we went from ocean to power purified to storage. So very, very cool. Like this new system and the additions to it. The pump was desperately needed, and I think this is just a great little addition. I can't wait to see what people do with them, and I'm excited for it. New gadgets and stuff to place down the base always excite me. It's extra stuff, you know what I mean? So then, heater, guys, something everyone has been begging for, absolutely begging for forever, has been a way to heat your base in the snow. Finally, we have the electric heater. So let's go ahead and look at that one again. 200 metal frags, workbench 1. It was 500 to research. Let's go ahead and send some power to it. You'll see there's power right there. Boom. And there it goes. You can see the comfort going up. Now, the exact stats of how well each thing kind of like heats an area, I'm not entirely sure. We're going to have to kind of test that out. It actually has a little glow at night, which is quite nice as well. So let's do some nighttime here. Look at that. Nice little warm glow. Seems to max out at about 30 comfort. You can see the range starts to dwindle here. Oh, 50 comfort. Oh, are we too close to it? So we're getting too hot. Interesting. So, okay, it starts to dip out there. Or is that because I hit the water? Let's see. Let's stand right here. That's pretty good. Now, one thing a lot of people will be curious of is, does it dry you off? So let's go ahead and take off this wetsuit, run around, get wet. They were like at least 50% wet. Come on. All right, there we go. Now let's jump in here. Oh, wow. It's a lot better than burning your face off on a campfire, I can tell you. Look at that. That is actually pretty good. All right, guys, so before we jump into anything else, we're going to check out the night vision goggles. So like I said, let's just jump back into here. These puppies are going to cost you 125 to research, and they require workbench 2. All right, this is what they look like. They've got projectile protection of 15, melee 20, bite 3, and cold 4. There is no radiation protection or anything. And as you can see here, it enables vision at nighttime by projecting and amplifying infrared light. Batteries can be recharged at a level 2 workbench. Cannot be worn with a helmet. But you can put a bandana on and look like a really crazy, weird spy person, which I totally love. So for the recharging, a lot of people don't understand how this works. It's not with a repair table. You don't repair it. You actually recharge it. So it has to be a workbench 2 or higher. So we'll just grab a 2 and slap it down. And once you look into it, you'll actually click on your goggles and it will have this says refill right now. I think when they get implemented, it should say recharge. But you hit refill and boom, there you go. And as you keep refilling them, I'm assuming the durability will go down. It looks like it went down a tiny bit. And yeah, that's pretty much the details of it. Let's look at the crafting cost. So it's gonna pop up underclothing, and it's 10 high qual, 2 tech trash. So not too tough, it's tangible within Solo's grasp, which I think is nice. And of course, let's just check it out. So as you're wearing them, you're gonna hit F. And as you can see during the day, not a good idea, right? So let's go ahead and make it nighttime, and then we're gonna show a couple of features, and then I'm gonna fly over to a monument where we can go and check it out. So, all right, now it's kind of dark. It's a bright, moony night. Boom. Much better, right? But, ooh, look at that flashlight from the turret. So this is just the flashlight on the normal gun flashlight on the turret. So this is what you'll see if a scientist blares a light at you, if a player puts a light on you, and that's pretty bright. That's actually something that's quite a bit painful. So we'll go ahead and turn that little guy off, and we're gonna turn this one on. So already that's pretty blinding, right? Yeah, forget seeing anything at all. It's, yeah. So it does have some downsides. You can blind someone temporarily, and then also I feel like it gives a better use to the flare, because we'll come over here in the darker and we'll chuck flare. So there's the flare, and then oh, it looks like maybe the flare's effect isn't working as well as it was. It should be pretty blinding, but it did roll off into the water as well. But yeah, let's go over to a monument and bring you guys back in. Darkness and rust got you down, but you want to get up to the top of Dome, but you know you can't do it. Well, now you can with your night vision. Check it out. How great is this? I mean, burp, burp, like, yes. Night vision is quite amazing. But yeah, guys, that does it for the night vision goggles. I know these is going to be already is a very controversial subject. I'm welcoming them into the game because I feel like it's something that can help everyone, and in general, it's just kind of cool, and it's not gated behind anything too hard. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the night vision goggles. Let's finish up this video. All right, so now with that guy covered, let's go ahead and take a look at the last thing we're gonna look at today. And that is the smart alarm system. So if you ever followed with Rust's development, there's this thing called RustNet, and it's basically this big inner web for Rust. And it also would have a companion app on your phone where you could do certain things in Rust, like watch your CCTV cameras, get alerts from your alarm system if your base is being broken into, blah, blah, blah. And that was always kind of a dream for the developers. Well, it's actually something that's happening. We have CCTV cameras, and the smart alarm itself is being worked on. So these things can't be researched or anything. They have to be admin spawned right now. And this is the smart switch, and this is the smart alarm itself. So when you look in here, you'll see alarm. Your base is under attack, and you can kind of change it. Smart alarm notifications are sent to your Android and iOS devices through the Rust Plus app. And it says Rust Plus down here. So yeah, looks like there's going to be an app coming called Rust Plus. Now, what you can do with this guy, see, you can see edit message, or you can pair. When you go to pair, of course, obviously that doesn't do anything because it's not functional yet. And then over here we have an output and an input, and then a switch on or off. So you can send signals to the switch to maybe open or close a door or so forth. This makes me think we'll have the capability to maybe control things from the app while we're not even in game. Let's say opening a door for a turret to blast away raiders or something like that. It's some possibilities. Again, this is a huge in-work progress. They've put these items in, they've started doing testing, that is it. I don't expect to see this super soon, and it could completely change, who knows. But yeah, that's all the really big stuff, guys. They've been doing a lot of server browser kind of fixes. They're trying to get, I know a lot of people have a problem with when you go to the browser seeing every server, certain things don't come up, favorites don't always work, the list is limited, a bunch of fake servers, that kind of stuff, and I know they're working to optimize that as well, which I think should be a happy point for a lot of people. But those are all the big things, guys. There's a ton more to come. There's some secret stuff I know they're working on, and we've got stuff like a bunch of unfinished weapons that aren't put in as well, so it could be anything. I also talked to Helk, and I'm trying to convince him to add some more skinnable items, pushing for hazmat and road sign gloves, guys. I know you have all been asking for that. So yeah, that kind of just does it on the front of everything that's going on. We'll have a full update summary for you guys next week, and if anything is super interesting we need to do, we'll do it then. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.